Okay everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be catching up with another round from the FIA Nations Championship at Dragon Trail, driving the Redbull Junior car. So I think this was the fourth slot of the day. It was not particularly high points and it was not the last race we did in the day. However, the final race of the day was a little bit of a bore fest. I think we were so low the whole race. There would be very little point me uploading that. I think we ended up coming home in P3. The points were very low, but this race was a lot more entertaining. This race had 3 wides, 2 wides, incidents. It was just a much more fun. It was actually quite a clean race as well. So let's take a look at the highlights from this race. Starting from P5, not a particularly amazing qualifying and wasn't particularly strong at this combination. I was starting to get a bit of pace by the final race, but yeah, it came at the wrong time. We did have an opportunity earlier in the day as well when we absolutely bottled a very big chance of some decent points. So yeah, let's see what we can do here. Benson getting a pretty awful start from the start there, dropping down to P6, and we see the Red Junior there, the Red Junior car, just managed to get himself back up the inside there. We was briefly up to P4, but then knocked down to P5. So yeah, it looks like Crease is going to be able to pull away here, because I'm going to go for a move up the inside, taking the inside line onto the throttle nice and early and trying to get back into the slipstream with Crease. But you can see there he's picking up that toe from P2 and he's out the slipstream range. So it does look like we have lost that toe, which is so important in these races, especially when you've got a fast driver at the front. Everyone seems to be able to pull along in that slipstream. You can see he's already gained 3 tenths just through that section through having the slipstream. But now we're going to have Benson going down the left hand side. Is he going to try and go around the outside here? It's very difficult to do. We're going to brake late. Down to second gear, and you see it, yeah, Benson, he's going to try and hold it round the outside there, but we managed to get on the throttle quite early and just about keep our car ahead into the chicane of death, as it's named on GT Sport. But with this car, it was an opportunity. This is actually where we managed to bottle it in the first race, but it was not as difficult in this car as it would normally be in a lot of other cars on Gran Turismo Sport. So going into the final corner, can we manage to hold this position? Yes, we can. Now we're going to start lap 2 in a moment, and yeah, pretty static start to lap. We've run a little bit wide there, but just about managed to keep it on track, and we're going to go over the line to complete lap 1. And yeah, it was a little bit of a static start, not too much going on there, a few moves done, but we're going to skip ahead to the end of lap 3 now, and you can see that the car behind us is getting very close in the slipstream. This is going to be possibly too wide into the final corner. You can see he's having a look up the inside, but it looks like the slipstream died. But Benson decided to go up the inside. We're going to brake quite late and try and hang it round the outside here. But I think Benson didn't realise I was still in the outside and just knocked into the side of our car. I think he realised his mistake there and backed out. You see he's lifting off the throttle to let us back through. I think he thought I had backed out the corner, but I hadn't. I was hanging it round the outside. So unfortunately we got pushed into the wall, but luckily we managed to keep momentum, so we didn't lose a massive amount of time, and we just about managed to keep ourselves all within the slipstream range. So this is looking like quite an interesting 4-car battle here for P4. There's not much chance of us gaining any sort of time on the leaders because we are battling. This is the type of race, and I actually quite enjoy this. I mean, the points in this race were not really worth worrying about getting a podium for anyway. So it was more about the enjoyment of the race, going 2 wide, 3 wide, pulling, overtaking moves. As long as we keep it clean, it could be a really interesting race, as we see going through here. Completely flat out again in this car. No need to worry about lifting off the throttle with this Redbull Junior car. Not the most powerful car, but what it has is quite a lot of downforce. As we push on now into the heavy braking zone, one of only a few heavy braking zones with this car, to be honest, because a lot of the corners were flat out. Trying to see if we can make a move. No, there's no point going for a move there, as we see Bitcoin there following the slipstream of P4, and we're all lying astern at this point, Pat. But one thing is, this car is very, very strong in the slipstream, so you are going to gain time once you get into the toe. As you see, we're losing a little bit of time through there, but as we see Benson behind us, just clipping into the wall off the chicane of death, it can still catch you out very easily. Done, like we say, we did it in, I think it was the first race of the day when we had an opportunity to get a very good result. However, going through the final corner, you see side-by-side action in front of us. This is going to lead to us picking up quite a strong slipstream down the main straight, as neither one of them cars managed to really gain much in terms of slipstream. They were side by side, so now this is going to bring us back up behind them and hopefully very, very close to maybe look to go for a move somewhere as we go into turn 1, trying to get on the brakes nice and we see that they go wide, so I decided to lift off and then get on the throttle early, and we managed to pull off a very, very nice move there up the inside there. We kind of saw that one happening and took advantage, and now we're back up to P5, and Benson there taking advantage as well, putting himself up to P6 from P7. They're going to go side by side through the tricky right hand corner there, and we're right behind P4 now, possibly going to take a move on him here. No, we're not going to go for that. It would be far too risky to try and throw it up there. So we decided to just sit behind P4 here. At this point I could see the gap behind was nearly breaking the slipstream, so I was trying to say to P4, I'm not going to go for a move. Look, you see me going to the left, I was like trying to say to him, get over to the left hand side, let's just do this normally. However, he didn't want to do that game. He actually tried to defend it, but we're going to try and hang it round the outside and see if we can take some speed through here. And you can see behind that Benson has caught right back up into that slipstream. So yeah, that tactic didn't quite work. I was quite happy to just play it safe at this stage of the race and try and break away from the other two drivers behind us. But now we're going to see if we can go for a move. We got a much better exit through the chicane of death, and we're going to go side by side again in this race. Absolutely brilliant, great driving going on so far, I must have to say. Nice and clean so far. Apart from the little thing from Benson, which wasn't deliberate, I think it was just a case of he didn't know I was there. Everything's been quite clean as we look behind. A little bit of barging going on between the cars behind us. They're fighting for the slipstream. Obviously, as we say, it's been a clean race there. It does seem to be getting a little bit aggressive with some of the drivers, but so far for myself, everything has been quite clean as we look into the braking zone again. Just braking nice and early. We're not going to risk going for a move there. We're a little bit too far back. Just tuck into that slipstream. We'll see if we can break away from the cars behind us. We got a bit of a gap there. If P4 can start pushing on and start doing some good lap times, we might be able to break that slipstream and possibly have a two-car battle towards the end as we get on the throttle nice and early through there, trying to pick up the slipstream. But you can see that P6 is well and truly, I think, into that slipstream range, so no real worries there. I think he's going to be able to hang on in and stay with this battle, this four-car battle for P4 in this race. You can see the leaders have well and truly gone. They pretty much got that podium sorted right from the start when they broke the slipstream and was away and pushed on. And yeah, now again he's going to defend it. I again wasn't trying to go for a move there. I was trying to say to him, just keep your line. And you can see again that we had a chance of breaking that slipstream there possibly again, but because he went defensive, that's meant that the red junior car has caught back up. So yeah, I was trying to say to him, just, you know, I think I was flashing at the time as well to say just keep to the normal racing line and we'll drive this sensibly. But now at this point again we go through the chicane of death much better than P4, and we actually get a much better exit out of that corner into the final corner. We're going to try and hang it wide as P4 brakes very late, but that's giving me quite a good slipstream. We're going to go and try and go around the right hand side. A little tag on the back of his car there which stopped a bit of momentum. No deliberate actions from either driver there. I think it's just the way that the collisions work on this game. So we're going to pick up a bit of slipstream again. Can we try and hang it round the outside into turn 1 as we have a little look at the replay camera, trying to carry the speed through the corner, and we managed to do that, holding the outside, keeping the inside for the next corner, and now we've got the momentum into the next corner. But it looks like almost 3 wide into the corner. We had to back out and let the Redbull Junior car, the red Redbull Junior car, take that inside line. So we gained the position but lose the position in the same group of corners. Brilliant racing though going on here. Great clean racing, that is the main thing. It might not be fighting for big points, but it's the enjoyment of the race that matters when it comes to races like this, as we're tucked up behind P4. And again, I was going to go with a similar thing of here, of play it safe. You can see, I think he realises what I'm doing. I'm not going to go for a move. But then P6 goes for a dive up the inside, and yeah, I have to back out. I can't turn in. So I just decided to let them go. Fair enough. I mean, it's not like we're racing for big points. I was just trying to play it safe and break away because we had an opportunity. But I think P5 might have spotted that and took advantage. However, now we're going to have to see if we can try and get back past P5, as I think we came to this point now. We realised that there was no point even trying to worry about trying to break the slipstream. It's best to just race it out as we go up the inside. Can we do a late move into the corner? We managed to get that move quite early done there, but he tries to hang around the outside. We give him space on the outside, and now we're side by side going down the main straight as P4 is almost in a perfect situation here because he can control the slipstream to which car that he wants to give it to, and it's looking like we're going to go side by side through turn 1, which is an important corner. This corner you gain up to 3 to 4 attempts, if not more, if a car behind is battling us. You see, we have to go very wide through that corner to give the space to P5, and straight away you can see that we've lost a massive chunk of time there. We've actually lost the slipstream down to 1.2 seconds behind P4. This is going to be very difficult. We're going to have to really push to see if we can gain some time through this right hand corner on the throttle very early, and actually did that very well. You can see we're actually gaining a bit of time back onto P4. However, that slipstream you can see in P6 almost in the perfect distance for the slipstream to regain the time, and he's going to be able to gain a lot of speed all the way up the uphill section while we have no slipstream. I have no slipstream in my car, obviously, to the car in front, with the gap being over the 8 tenths needed. But again, we're going to have to go defensive here, and this is pretty much meaning that P4 is going to be able to just fly away, I think, here now. I don't think there's going to be much we can do because we're going to be battling to try and hold on to this position. So P4, a little bit lucky, he's got away and he can just drive his own race now with no worries of slipstream behind him or slipstream in front, whereas we're still now in a 3-car battle, I think it is, with myself, Benson and Bitcoin there, all battling away for the P5 position in this race. Like I say, not particularly big points, but it's enjoyable. That's the main thing. As he goes for a big dive up the inside, I saw that one coming and decided just to go for a wider line and pick up the momentum down the straight to see if we can go back past him with the slipstream. You can see the slipstream building up and building up, getting more and more speed, and you can see the advantage in this guy. Just look how much it is worth as we go to the right, fake that, and we get ourselves down the left hand side, and this should give us the inside line for turn 1. Will he try and hang it round the outside? We're going to have to try and brake very, very late. He does try and hang it round, but we managed to carry enough speed through the apex and put ourselves back up to P5 in this race, as now Benson again decides to go for that move and takes advantage and puts himself up to P6 behind us. Some great driving going on in this race. Nice, clean, respectful so far. It's actually been a really entertaining race. Just a shame that we lost the opportunity to break away, because I think we would have had the pace to basically match P4. I think not much difference in terms of pace between myself and him, but you can see that this battling costs so much. Just to put it in perspective, in the final race we did, I think we had a bit of clean air and we were doing late 1 minute 37s, and that really does show you just how much time you're losing by battling, as we again going to go side by side through this right hand corner into the chicane of death, trying to keep the speed through here. And with side by side, I decided that is possibly better just to tuck back in behind P5. No point trying to go side by side through that corner as we go through the chicane of death again. Can we manage to keep it nice and smooth through there? Again, we get a better exit from the corner than P5. Seem to be losing a lot of momentum, but now we're going to go 3 wide into the final corner, coming into the final 2 laps of the race. This is pretty crazy. This time we all managed to get through it clean. You can see how we all back off of the corner at different times to try and improve our exit speeds down the main straight. Some great driving going on, really enjoyable to be involved with as we power on down the straight to start the final 2 laps in this race. So action all the way. Sorry, the final lap in this race, that was lap 9. Apologies for that. As we go through to the final lap in the race, can we manage to hold it around the outside? We faked it down the inside, then go back down the outside, trying to hang it around the outside. We managed to get enough of the car around the outside and pull off an absolutely brilliant move there to put us back up to P5 in this race. A brilliant, entertaining end to this race by looks at as Benson also goes for a move up the inside behind us, putting himself up to P6. And then into that tricky right hand corner, see Benson behind, losing the rear. That is brilliant news for myself as I managed to get on the power. You can see the slipstream, it breaks at 8 tenths, but they're still just about in it. But this gap should be enough as they're going side by side through there. It should be enough for myself to hang on to a P5 in this race. So an entertaining race. Let's just see if we can hang on to this position to the finishing line as we come through to the chicane of death. Always a corner that is going to make you a little bit nervous as you come into it, no matter how easy the car was to drive through there. This car, although pretty simple, it still caught us out a couple of times during the races that we did on the night as we go through, picking up that curve, nice and smooth through here, nice and smooth, and again through here trying to get as close to the wall as you can almost, because it was a smoother line. So yeah, managed to do it pretty much spot on. And then we just coming up to the final corner, you see, trying to break that slipstream just to make sure they're not going to get close enough into the final corner as we go through the braking zone at the 100 board. 3rd gear, onto the throttle nice and early, nice and smoothly done, and we're going to take the P5. You can see that although they are picking up the slipstream behind, they're not going to gain that much time. So a pretty solid P5, not particularly big points, but what an enjoyable race. That is the main thing for these races, I think. when the points were not very high anyway. We came away with quite an enjoyable feeling. I actually enjoyed the race. It was good battling. We come away with not very good points, 263, but that is pretty irrelevant anyway, because even the top points were not that great. Hope you enjoyed that race. Make sure you hit the like button if you did enjoy it. Let me know in the comment section how you got on in this race, and I'll see you back for more videos in the future. Thanks again for watching, everyone.